You done a list of top 10 Game Ranks videos yet?
Shut up. Hey guys, today is June 10th, 2016. My name is Jake Baldino, here every Friday to talk about video game type stuff. What just fell? It's the week before E3, so likewise now the new thing is announcing everything before E3. So we have a lot to talk about. We can't cover every single little rumor and thing and leak, but we do have a lot, starting off with Watch Dogs 2. Watch Dogs 2 got its official reveal, and I gotta say guys, I'm pretty into it. I know, first Watch Dogs wasn't that great, but I'm willing to give this one a little bit of a shot because the location honestly is more believable, you know, based in technology and hacking. San Francisco seems like a pretty good setting. And besides that, it looks like they're finally stopping taking themselves seriously, like with serious ass Aiden Pierce. Now you're just a wacky, fun teenager guy. And there's hacker gangs, and there's explosions, and there's running, and I think it's really worth noting that there's dogs. There's so many dogs. Look at all the dogs. Games Radar actually compiled all the dogs in the trailer, and I gotta say, I'm pretty impressed. I don't really need to give you guys all the details because I'm sure you're following it all as much as I am, but I did put a link in the description of this and everything else I talk about today. But we gotta move on. Crash Bandicoot is back in what seems like probably the worst possible way. This is a leak sourced on NeoGAF, so it's not always gonna be true, but it looks pretty likely. It looks like Skylanders is getting a new pack of things. I'm not gonna pretend to know how Skylanders works, sorry.
Wait, so you put the thing on the...
You put the thing on the thing.
On the power portal.
But then there's all this other bullshit, like there's guest packs, and then there's this and that. Well, they had Spyro the Dragon for the longest time, and it seems like their next surprise is going to be Crash Bandicoot. Oh, Crash, I really didn't want to see it come to this, but, you know, whatever. So it's like you get your character, but nowhere near in the way you want it, and I think that's pretty terrible. And honestly, in news that I think is actually worse than that, Allison Road has been canceled. This is the PC game that was being developed as kind of like a spiritual successor, maybe even a little bit of a copycat of PT, and it looked really promising. We had videos of game demos and all this stuff, and it looked scary enough, and people were really excited, and now the carpet was completely pulled out from under it. It's been in development for like a year, but the developers have announced on Twitter that the project is completely canceled. They're gonna provide more details later, which I haven't seen yet, and I'm really looking forward to hearing why, what happened. Because things looked really promising, and it seemed like it was full speed ahead, and now, nothing. Were you guys into that though? Did it seem too much like it was copying PT? Honestly, I didn't care. I just wanted to play something that felt like that, so I was willing to give Allison Road a shot. But now it looks like that won't be the case. Jumping back to some E3 leaks, first we got a leak of Injustice 2 being a thing, and then we got the release of the official trailer, which looks badass. Of course, it's a cinematic trailer, but I'd like to think that people know what they're getting with a new Injustice game. This time around, it looks like they're giving every superhero power armor, and I'm really all about it. Like, it's gonna be a good game and stuff, but I really like these games and kind of the Injustice universe to see. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they're gonna tie the Injustice 2 game with the Injustice comics, which are currently still kicking ass. Hopefully we see some actual gameplay at E3 from the show floor. Maybe I can even touch it while I'm there. We'll see. And in more pre-E3 announcements, we got the official announcement after some leaks of Destiny Rise of Iron. In before people comment and say, oh lol, people still play Destiny. They do. I don't. Tom, you still play Destiny?
Yeah, I still play Destiny.
Case in point, right there. There's people out there. Destiny Rise of Iron gives you a new campaign story, new locations, a new zone called the Plaguelands, a new social space, an entire new enemy faction, and a new 6-player raid. There's also going to be new strikes, new armor and weapons, and crucible maps. I don't know, I'm down. Every once in a while, I still try and jump back into Destiny to give it another shot, and this seems like a good enough reason, especially since there are wolves. This is the second time I've mentioned dogs today, and I'm pretty okay with that. And following up from last week, we spoke about a Dead Rising 4 possibly being a thing. Well, now we got a nice pretty leak of an apparent poster and like a title image, and apparently it is going to be Frank West once again. He looks very different. There's also some leaked screenshots, which I'm not convinced they look pretty fake, but I think it is going to be a safe bet that this thing is going to be revealed at E3. The big question is it going to be an Xbox One exclusive like Dead Rising 3 was, or are we gonna get this all multi-plat? You know, if Capcom is still behind it, Capcom is probably looking for any deal they can, so I expect it to be an Xbox One exclusive. Speaking of Xbox though, just as I was recording this, it dropped that Halo Wars 2 is going to be having a playable beta available on the Xbox One store, and it's gonna go live on June 13th. So that's going to be one of those things where it's shown at E3 and then you get to play it in the comfort of your own home. I'm into that. I think that's cool. And this thing that has been rumored for a while, and it's been a rumor almost every year since the game's release, Skyrim Remastered on PlayStation 4 and Xbox One. This has been the heavy-hitting rumor from the Bethesda conference, and not only that, but we also got some leaked store listings saying that there is going to be Skyrim Definitive Edition for consoles. The big question here, though, is how big of a, remaster is this going to be? Like, for people on PC, are they going to bother or not at all? Because I'd like a little more, like a little better version of Skyrim to play on my PC, but I already have that with mods, so it's kind of a weird thing. But for console owners, it is pretty exciting because the word on the street is with this, it's going to be like Fallout 4, there's going to be mod support and all the DLC. And that could be dope. If you're looking for another reason to play Skyrim, that's probably a really good one. Also, I worked on a new series called What Made Skyrim Great. I published it yesterday. It's pretty cool. We have an amazing animator just doing cool art for it. Check it out. And in some bizarre news, that Battlefront 3 remake is actually making its way to Steam. I don't know how this is all gonna work, but Galaxy in Turmoil, this is essentially kind of like a scrapped up, kind of rebuilt version of the code that was found of Battlefront 3. You know, the Battlefront 3 that was in development earlier on that actually looked really awesome. Well, apparently they've actually signed a distribution deal with Steam, and Steam is going to actually sell the game. The thing is, though, is that it's actually going to be a free game, which is good, and it's also interesting because maybe by it being a free game, it will be able to avoid Disney lawsuits because it's a Star Wars game, but we're going to have to wait and see. It is kind of weird, though, because the developers of this have been a little cagey in interviews. They've said things and went back on things, and I really don't think this thing can survive. I think Disney is going to come down very hard on it, but I'm still looking forward to seeing what happens. This week, we also got a trailer for Agents of Mayhem from Deep Silver. It is a not Saints Row game, but it's kind of set in the Saints Row universe. The trailer I thought was awful, and it looked kind of like just another generic hero shooter type of thing, but apparently it's like an open world action game with 3 different characters on screen at once, and like you could pick between 12. So it does sound way more interesting than the actual trailer lets on, but it's kind of funny if you look at the official trailer and you go in the top comments. I made that comment. Also, according to Rotten Tomatoes and just general people out there, the Warcraft movie sucks, and I'm really sad because I've been staking a lot of my reputation on hoping that new video game movies are going to be good, and it looks like Warcraft does not hit that bar. And I am very, very sad. I'm still holding out for Assassin's Creed. Maybe it'll be good, but we don't know. Also, I don't know if you guys have been following this, but a lot of Overwatch community people have been outing this whole issue with aiming and how firing bullets works. There's lots of video evidence of like when a player's shots are kind of sent totally vertically, when they're near the limits of aiming up or down, it's like there's this weird zone in the actual aiming that just doesn't actually register it to go straight. It's very hard to explain, but if you watch the video, it's bizarre that they like let this happen. So since so many people have been calling it out, I hope they fix it, or maybe it's just part of what makes the game work. I don't know. I'm not a developer. But Overwatch players, I do want to know what you guys think about this. And last but not least, this just broke, but Andrew House, the head of PlayStation, has confirmed that the new upgraded PlayStation 4 is a thing. Like now, actually, really completely officially. While it hasn't had an actual confirmation and an initial reveal, Andrew House told the Financial Times that this high-end version of the PlayStation 4 is going to be a more expensive PlayStation 4, but it is going to be designed to work hand in hand with the lower-end PlayStation 4. And it is, of course, he confirmed, being designed for people who are going to be playing 4K TVs and more seamless integration with PlayStation VR. So this is a very interesting time. It's going to see, like, you know, PlayStation could really kind of screw things up here with trying this new thing, or this could be good. I really don't know. For a lot of consumers, it just doesn't seem like the right thing, and I kind of tend to agree with them. But time will tell. I do think it is worth noting, though, that they said that this will not be announced at E3. So don't expect anything from the Sony conference coming out about this new PlayStation, because announcing essentially 2 new products at the same time could be kind of messy. So maybe expect something later down the line. But that's all the stuff I really had time to talk about today. There is a lot more going on, and there's going to be a lot more happening over the weekend and during E3. I will be there. I'll be showing you guys as much as I can on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and probably a lot of Snapchat. But besides that, I do want to know what stories you guys give a shit the most about this week. Let's talk down in the comments. I'll be over there. I'll be on social media. Are you sad about Allison Road? Do you think Dead Rising 4 is definitely going to be a thing? Did you see the Warcraft movie, or are you still planning on seeing it? And what do you think about the PlayStation 4.5, this new upgraded PlayStation? Now that it's definitely almost officially a thing, do you want one? Let's talk. Of course, you guys know, though, every week we give away a free game to one of you guys. There's a link below. You click it, you enter, you sign up once, you're entered forever, and then every single week I go in that list, pick one random winner to win a free game of their choice. This week's winner is... Congratulations, you won. Check your email, check your spam. I will be getting in touch with you soon. I hope you pick a cool game for us to send you. Don't pick a shitty game. Don't pick, you know, like Cory in the House or Barbie Horse Adventures or The Sims 4. The Sims 4 was garbage. You guys know the deal, though. If you like hanging out with me every Friday, clicking the like button is a good idea because it helps out GameRanx, it helps out the show. We appreciate it so much. And if this is your first time watching my face, number 1, I'm really sorry. Number 2, subscribing is a good idea because we put out videos every single day. But as always, thanks for watching, and we'll see you guys next time. Pizza's on